day 5. Man, making these videos has been absolutely fascinating. Well, I started doing it because I really wanted to not only document this whole journey of me starting my own business, but I also wanted to do it to try to learn how to film video, to edit videos, and I'm literally just scratching the surface, and there is so much to learn. In the spirit of learning new things, today I want to talk about learning and the types of adult learners that I have seen in my career. Now, in a previous job, I was a creative technologist, and what that entailed is that I would create content that broke down different types of emerging technology: data science, blockchain, web development, cybersecurity. If you could think of the technology, we talked about it. And I would fly around the world and I would teach people throughout businesses what these technologies actually were, and in some cases, how they applied within their business. It was a really crazy cool job. It was super difficult at times. It was such a joy in other moments. But the fascinating part is I really learned a lot about how adults learn and the different types of learn. Let me just be clear. I'm not like some sort of learning fancy professional that has archetyped the different types. This is just from my observations teaching adults of all different ages and backgrounds and experiences. You get a couple of different types of people. One, you get the people that still have that childlike curiosity, and those were always the most fun to teach. They would approach learning as if it was the highlight of their year. And that was so fun because they just knew that they didn't know things and they wanted to learn them. And being able to engage them and have them ask questions not only enhanced their experience, but it also made me a better teacher. The next sort of tier that I found were learners that were more complacent. So they're coming to the training because they get the day to do the training and they're going to learn the thing and they'll participate in the stuff, but they're not really engaging in the learning. And I think that's an important thing because if you don't engage in learning, then you're just not going to get out of it what you really could. It's like what you put into it, you get out of it. I think with those learners that sort of come in and they just have that sort of, let's just do this thing mentality, I respect that they're there and I respect that they have a decent attitude, but I also wish that they would see if they were just a bit more engaged, that they could really take their learning to a different level. The next type of learner that I saw were learners that just did not want to be there and they let it be known that they did not want to be there. That's a really hard position to be put in as a teacher because I know that it's going to be very rare for me to break through and get them to learn new things. But they also take a lot of attention because they're the ones that tend to talk over you. They're the ones that tend to be distracting others. And as an adult, teaching an adult, I'm like, come on, this is so annoying. Can't you have any sort of respect that I'm here doing my job so that you can do your job better? Those folks, I would say, just really couldn't see the forest through the trees. They could only see, I'm doing this job and that's all I want to be focusing on. Or I know this industry and I don't need to know any more. When we all know that's just not the case. There's always something that we can be learning. And my last group that I would say are folks that were similar to the curious childlike vibes, but were different. They saw getting to be trained as a way to socialize and engage with their peers. And they were also really fun to work with. So even if they weren't necessarily into the topic that we were teaching about, they would socialize and use that as a tool to not only create relationships, but also to potentially clarify things that they were either confused about or maybe things that they just didn't care about, to see the other side of it. So recapping, learning is important. We know this. As an adult, maybe ask yourself, what type of learner are you? Are you a learner that approaches learning with a childlike curiosity? Are you a learner that sort of comes in with a complacent attitude and sort of does what they have to do, the minimum amount? Are you someone that is really rigid and is not open to learn? Or are you the one that is wanting to engage within the environment and the social aspect of learning, and that's how you learn? Now, this is very basic categories, but it just can help if you slow down and you question, am I really taking full advantage of how I learn? Tomorrow, I'm going to pick up this conversation, right, Luigi? I love him so much. If you have a pup or a pet, they're just the best, aren't they? Like I said, tomorrow I'm going to pick up this conversation. We're going to continue talking about learning, especially in adulthood, and some things that I've seen along the way that could possibly help you and are helping me in starting a business. See you tomorrow.